Happy Monday, everybody. It's Leela. If you may have come from Gary Hubbs, I sure wish that Gary Hubbs was coming on before me every single time, even though he often makes me late, but he also gets me absolutely like pumped to do things. I'm Leela. This is the Pie, otherwise known as my tapping muse, giving her treats, and we are off to the races. So I'm going to quickly say hello to the folks who are in the front row with me, and that will, whoops, and then we'll get to work because we got a lot of fun stuff to do. Jim Shannon is working and lurking, babes. Meow Meow, Hugh Caldwell, Country Walkin', C-Dubs, Thomas Christ, Tease, Semtex Cow, the Moo, the Boom Kitty. Let's see, Rachel Aloha, so nice to see you. Aloha, aloha. Very cool. Let's see, we got anyone else in the front row? I see, oops, Easy Herbs is here. Good stuff. Oh, you're going to bed after this, Country Walkin'. I hear ya. Hey, Heathen Granny's in the house today. Let's see. Do I see anyone else? Felix says hi to Pie. The Pie says hi to Felix. All right, quickly, just a little tiny bit of business. This thing right up here is my link tree. And when you use the link tree, you end up getting connected to me in all kinds of awesome ways. And so any of the other things that Thomas drops for you, you'll be able to find that. Hey, Doug Kidder's here in real time. Kubrick Lover 1972. All right, folks, let's bring in my iPad, Ilya, and we will be getting to work right here. Me and Pie in the corner. Yes, there we go. Hi, see you, the deal for real. What's up? Right on. Of course, I need to put my glasses on. Let's give the Pie just a few more treats here. We're talking about loops. Yes. What's this drum pack? And I just found it, too. As a matter of fact, Jade Star Music is in the house. Jade Star's coming up next with, geez, have I already forgotten? With Pop Drummer by Lumbeat. That's going to be pretty darn cool. Okay. We're going to talk about loops. So quickly, there's just several different ways to get loops. You can get them, you can look for companies that create them, like Ghost Hack or Mobile Music Pro is not in business anymore, I don't think, but I've gotten a lot of their packs. There's Samples from Mars, there's Go to Gumroad, there's so many things. And then, of course, our little friend Easy Herbs makes What's This Drums. So I have got just a pile of loops in here. But then, so two more ways to get loops is to use the Apple loops in GarageBand or Logic. And then again, also to use a awesome app that I love called Launchpad DJ. And I pay $44 a year for a subscription to it. And they come out with new sound packs almost every week. So it is quite awesome. Let's see if I can find those What's It's drums. Man, I thought I had them. This drives me insane. 'Cause that's games ones. We'll just check in my samples. Maybe in my samples Xfer. See, What's It Sounds, What's It Foley. See, there's lots of really cool packs. I wish I would have connected this beforehand. But oh, there we go. What's This Drum Breaks? Okay. Can you drop the link here and have a mod copy it? Sure, if you'd like. If it pops up. Easy gives these out for free, so wicked. Let's just start with one of these. And we'll do this in a super, super easy way. We're going to go back in here to let's get rid of this. We're going to go file. This is a file player, guys. So file player, which is, let's actually just, we'll replace. So you hold down, replace, and then we'll replace it with the same thing. So this is what your source is. So all you have to do is hit file player and tap to load a file. So where it looks, yeah, it probably won't let it through. You could put it in pieces, not in link. Oh, did you send it to me through Discord? I don't want to open up my full Discord here. But yeah, let's whip that. Okay. Copy link. And I'm coming back and we're going to don't you love the multiple? Here we go. These are our what's this drum links right there. Drums. Yeah, some free drums, guys. What the heck? So you can always be on the lookout for things like free samples. They're either called samples or loops, and we'll use that. So we're going to head in, and we're just going to look here, and we're going to go to, I think it was it samples Xfer? Yes, there it is. So let's just pull up something. Let's pull up a 120 beats per minute. They're 32 bar files, so this will be like, so, and then you could start, and the other thing I like to do is pop up some, right here, you can create an instrument. So let's find an instrument that works. Let's use Soundbox, because Soundbox has all the sounds. Feisty Feather, Frosty Freak, what's up, lady? And then, of course, we'll need MIDI to run our Soundbox. So I'm just going to pick something. Let's use piano motifs again, just for fun. And we're going to go with A minor. Because my guy is ready for some A minor or C major beats. Let's generate. Keep those going. So now I'm just going to stop that for a moment because it's hard for me to think when it's not a bad little drum break. I mean, we're going to go a little harder. So of course this is easy. Let's see. We're going to look for like a pad to do a nice, let's do a pad. We'll find a pad. Look for one that's a little bit. Ooh, that Magic Forest actually sounds kind of cool. Let's throw that on. All right, and then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to connect our piano motifs, but we're going to want to come down here and do the accompaniment bit. So now I'm going to solo that and we'll see what happens. See what happens if we use the third. See, we didn't create a third, so let's come back in here and make sure we have a third. We stop. So this is easy. We go to MIDI and we turn on third track. Boom, there's third track is on now. So now let's regenerate. We go next, generate. We're still good. A minor. Yep, we got it. Now we'll try this again. I don't like that. So Let's get rid of that. Sounds dumb. All right. So anyway, simple, right? We'll leave this for now, and we're going to head over to, that is literally, you just start putting in things. Although we could, let's just try one more. Let's add one more file player and find something else in A minor that we can make stick. So file player, tap to load a file. And this time I'm going to go into our full thing here, and then we go to my main samples. Here we go. And let's try Ghost Tack. And A minor. Whoops. Ooh. Yeah, it might, but stop. Right? Yeah, I get you. I'm just showing right now. I'm just literally showing how to drop the things in, because I want to, move on to the Launchpad. Yeah. Floating A minor, dramatic A minor, dramatic keys too. Oh, those are midis. Ooh. So we could actually throw that in to cover up something. But yeah, let's get out of there. Woohoo. Free ambient beds. Ooh, Bad Robot, A minor 120, stems. There we go. Let's just throw in, what about this piano? And we're at 120, so this should just loop. We're going to... See? Already we've got music. That I literally just dropped 3 little things in there, and we've already got a song brewing. Just one little MIDI and 2 sets of things. I mean, wow, that's great. So I think we should move along. Now, I like your beats. And I realize that they are set to be cut up that way. So it's all cool, my friend. Musical ramen. All right, let's go straight into Logic Pro. And we're going to open up a blank document. And we could actually, so we may even use this, right? We could always use this. We could make something into a loop, and then we could pop it into AUM like that. We may even do that. Wouldn't that be wild, right? Let's just use 120 and A minor just for, fixing, just to manage. Just to be where we are, which is way cool. Now, we'll change this first. So here's 120. All right, we got that. Tempo. And then here's your key signature. I'm going to go with minor. Whoops. I'm going to go A minor. There we go. Look at that. We're so simple. And now everything you drop in here is going to be in A minor. And now all you have to do is hop over here to this little music thing, and you have your browser. Your browser, there's your loops. Boom. So think we're going to want to try, say we want to go with like rock kind of music. So let's go electronic, hip hop, R&B, melody, electric, rock. Let's go rock. Right? So now all you'd have to do is you're just looking for things. Now see these ones that are orange are called, well, let's just drag one in and find out. Songtember, songwriter bass. There we go. We're just throwing one in, and it just populates because this is what is called a session player. So So if you come down here to edit, you can actually change this. I want to cycle that. Cycle the selection. Whoops. No! Don't record, dummy. See, that's a little different. Let's turn the complexity up. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. We can turn our intensity down. You can even change your preset. You can follow your chord rhythm. It's just literally stuck some chords in here for us, right? See them there? This makes it really easy to work. So now let's show our global tracks. See, so C, F minor 6. I wonder if it allows you to assign those all following of this, select all following of the same track. This is cool. And you could just come in. Yeah, right, extremely thin pick. All right, so then there's other kinds of things. There's these drums. And these blue ones are audio files. So let's find some drums now. So another way to look is, let's go drum. So we're gonna type D-R-U-M. Boo! Now all we've got is drums. Bar band. This one sounds a lot like actually, we could also import, right? So you can see that. Let's actually come down here. Sample folders. Let's choose a sample folder. Let's go find what's the strum breaks, and then we could actually drag in these. These aren't what we were looking for, right? Oh, whoops. So now, what's the strum breaks? There you go. Open. Now we should have this ready. Look, there we go. Isn't that awesome? Where's is that one the 20? Let's see if we can get him to come in. Oh, see, that's how easy. That's the 120 minute. So look at that. So we've got 120. Now, if you just cut this down, we'll just like literally just drag it back like that, right? So now we've just got this. Let's just go. Now we can turn this down. See, we're already halfway there. Forest of the Wolf official, what's up? That's nice. Nice. We'll stop that again. Now we're going to open up our browser again. Here's our browser. And so you've seen a couple things, how to drag in your own sample files. So let's go back to our loops. And now let's get rid of drum and let's look for keyboards. Yeah. Or actually, let's go keyboard, rock. So we'll have two. So we've got rock in there. And now we want, I don't know why. Let's clear. Let's go keyboard. Yes, there's our keyboard. And now we go, let's see if we can find rock. There's rock. Okay, so we got keyboard and rock. Now we'll just have... there's another set of things. This is a piano. Then there's these little green ones. Let's drag in a green one and see what happens. Now see? This is a MIDI block. We have MIDI samples in here too. And see, we didn't hear anything. And why? Why? Because we don't have a instrument in there. So that's what we're gonna have to do. But first, let's loop it out. So you click loop, then you tap, then you drag it out. Let's drag it out. It's fully out. All right. Now we'll solo this one, and we'll see if there's anything in there. Here we go. Let's change instruments. So see how cool this is? With your loops can actually have an audio patch. Let's find synth. Ooh, try this crushed one. So all you do is literally just, you can double click it, I think. No, is that not what you do? Oh, that's an audio patch. Never mind. I'm doing the wrong thing. Instrument patch. Little silly girl. All right, synth. See, they have to be green. Let's do this sine synth. Okay, see now what? That's all of a sudden I've got a different one. Now go. Oh no, I crashed. Let's get the auto saved. I love when things crash. That was my fault, right? It's still Latin rock piano now, so what we need to do is go back in and find our instrument patch again. Ooh, I like that one. 70s glam. It's going to be different than we figured. Now let's unsolo it. And let's try to listen. See? There you go. And then if you like this, and then as you're working, right? You start and you see this is 8 bars, and you could just like start dragging in your next 8 bars and your next 8 bars, and you can copy sections and replace them, and that is all just well and good. It's super fun, right? But if we want to get a song done, if you really want to get a song done in just a short amount of time, Launchpad is your key. But first, you could obviously, you could come into audio, you can add vocals and stuff. You could be like, I am ready. Ooh, I am ready. Sweet. Let's get this echo off of me. Right, that's perfect. We've got several different kinds of loops there. We've got loops in every instrument. We've got loops that create regions that you can edit. Those session player regions, you can come in there and edit them like by hitting sliders and stuff. And then obviously the MIDI ones, you can use the regular MIDI editors to get in there and really just dial it into you, right? Summary, driving to the job. Hey, Seven Dust, what's up? Hope I haven't missed anyone. Whoops. Darn it. I've had that thing on me the whole time. Why? Why do I always leave comments up? But let's get ready, because we're going to do the crazy thing. Whew. All right, now Launchpad. All right, Launchpad is this crazy, crazy, crazy app. Okay, so we're like halfway through the show, and now we're gonna challenge me to actually create this skeleton of a song in a Launchpad. First, I'm gonna quickly just show you the things that Launchpad does. Right here, ooh, of course, everything's crashing today. So you're looking in, you can you can either go to home and there's just all these sound packs, right? There's genre blends, club nights, staff top picks, rest and refresh, tranquil trip. So they're always giving you they're featuring stuff for you. Here's your best of 2024. But this has been coming out for a long time. Now, check this out. Latest sound packs. So Dance Floor Funk. That's come out recently. Mellow Bass Trap has come out recently. Indie Pop Rock came out recently. Felt Piano House. These have all come out in the last few weeks. Yeah, Mercury must be in retrograde again. Yeah, something like that. So then the second way you can look is through your library. And when you come in here, you can sort by date, name, or tempo. So I sort by tempo because then I can start and here's all my slow stuff. And then we go up, up, up. Look, industrial metal. Whoops. We're just going to work until this returns. Where's my industrial metal? Whoops. Library. Looking, industrial metal. Damn it. It just won't load. I'm going to make it load because we're going to use this today. So that's just what's going to happen. Stop it. We'll pick something else. Anything to make something happen. It is. I know. This is my basically about my favorite app. Oh, geez. Hang on. I got to re-log in. So let me flip back to loving this. By the way, loving this, people. Going back to my face. Hey, Brett Olson, what's up? So nice to see you. I'm going to log in again. I bet you it's going to work this time. La la la. APPy music. And I have to come and replace. Just loving this. So I think one of the most important parts of making music is not losing your cool when things go wrong, right? So half of the battle is seriously not losing your cool. I'm going to log in. This ought to work. Woohoo! Now I'm going to go. Fuck. Put in industrial metal. Let's go back to me. Oops. Let's try something besides industrial metal. How about that? Masquerade. There we go. Nice. And then, of course, we're going to want AUM because I want to move this in with my stuff. So all you have to do, you can use Launchpad inside of not just AUM, but you can also use it inside of Loopy Pro, and you can do insane things with it in Loopy Pro, but that's not for today. We won't be doing that today. So I just search for Launchpad. It makes it easy, but if you were looking, it's in, whoops. We'll go replace and see we're not going to replace it, but down here in external, enter app audio. It doesn't save the state, but that's cool. So let's get rid of this because I want something a little more crazy. We're going to get rid of all the... Now we're going to find something. Let's see what this masquerade sounds like. Let's get it closer to its original speed. Now watch this. This is going to be crazy. I hit reset, tap, and see up here it says 80. Now we're going to tap back over to AUM and look at that. We have changed AUM with Launchpad. That can make it a little bit easier to pick a speed. Now we're going to put this in A minor because that's what we're going to try to do. Now we'll just listen to some of this stuff. That's piano. Those are kind of quiet. Just the drums. So the music is coming from piano motifs and soundbox. Those are brutal drums. These actually don't sound terrible. Yeah, literally we may never use this sound that's coming out. Ooh, so I like this blanc sparse. Now. Not that. Now web. So the top and bottom were both good for me. So that's like blanc sparse and web percussion. Now let's keep web percussion actually. Now we'll listen to each. Now this is web glitch. That doesn't add much to me. That's not bad. Lies glitch. Disguise percussion. That's not bad. Shade distorted. Ooh. But it's too busy. That's too busy too. I like this, like probably Lies glitch and blanc short. This would be good for playing around. Let's just but this will be the main one here. Now let's go in a bass. Hear that bass? If you're having trouble with your volumes, you can actually tap volume. So I want my percussion a little softer. I want my bass a little louder. Let's try Lies sub now. That's not very exciting. Now disguise analog. Ooh. I'm gonna make it just like a couple faster. Yeah, that's a little better. The disguise analog sounds good. Not that. Arrow dirty. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The simple one is good too. Now we're looking for things like this is going to be a vocal in the center here. Now we go. See, there we go. This is a different piano, Lies piano. Ooh, that sounds good with this. That's nice. I like that. We'll keep that. Like, I may not keep that whole thing, right? It's souling over, right? Now let's try disguise. That sounds good too. And shade. That doesn't really sound good. I like the ones on the top, the 3 on the top. So whether we try this more another voice. I don't want one that has words. So not that one either. Wow, that one's cool. Shade ethereal. That's a good question. All right, we won't use either one of those. Let's stop for a second. So here, I actually want to address something that Semtex Cow just said. With Venus Theory and Jade showing how easy it is to file false copyright, don't all loops get pirate jacked? As a matter of fact, they don't. I use some part of Launchpad for virtually every song that's in the Midnight Chill. And one of the things I do is, you'll notice when I open up, when you go into here, tune, it says there's a reset. So this one is originally in C minor, and so I moved it to A minor. It was originally in 80 beats per minute, and I changed it to 82. But people use them, and then they file false copyright claims. But every single time I fight them, and I've got a notes file that I use. My notes file, what is it called? Let's see. I'm just going to probably just read it to you real quick, because we still have 20 minutes to get this done. So I think this is actually a really important part of this. Let me go. I'll use my search function. So Launchpad, and I can share this with you if you need. Okay, here we go. Launchpad copyright claim rebuttal. All musical content in the Midnight Chill is either me playing a keyboard or loops from an app called Launchpad DJ by APPy Music. I pay a yearly licensing fee which covers royalty-free usage for all uses except for selling individual loops, which is irrelevant to this claim. This license information is linked below. In relevant part, you own the intellectual property rights in your recordings of your musical work or compositions which use any sounds and or tools, which is what they call this, but you do not own any copyright or other intellectual property rights to any sounds or tools, even when incorporated into your musical compositions. Provided that you are in compliance with this agreement, you may copy, modify, reproduce, distribute, publicly perform, transmit, communicate to the public, sublicense, and otherwise use your musical work or composition without our prior permission. And then I go on. That's the quote. The part of the excerpt above means that even if the sound sample in my improv set is the same as that in the song by the claimant, they do not have an exclusive right to it and may not make false copyright claims against other artists who use the same samples. APPy Music ultimately owns the copyright and not CD Baby or whoever did it, right? The claimant has either A, misidentified and erroneously claimed the section of the music in question entirely, or B, they have erroneously put content ID on a track containing royalty-free samples such as those by Apple, APPy, and many other sample services. This causes distress and loss of time, effort, and money on the part of people who have the legitimate right to use the content, and more importantly, constitutes false copyright claim, which is illegal. All of the music in Midnight Chill is authorized for use according to the terms of services I pay for. APPy Music Agreement linked below. Please release this false claim forthwith. So basically that's my, and you notice I used to be a legal executive assistant. So, hey, go with the flow. So I used to work for lawyers. So I used much legalese, and I have never had them. I've gotten all of my claims released against me. Forthwith. Yeah, if you use legalese, especially when you have when the company is behind you, APPy Music is very, they get really mad when people do false copyright claims on your stuff that you make with their cool app. So anyway, that covers that. Let's get back to work. So the kind of thing that I like to do is just like this. So I open up a record set, right? And then we're going to listen to this. And you know what I'm actually going to do here? This is going to be fun, right? Take this, and I'm going to add another MIDI processor. I'm going to add Waymaker, and I'm going to connect it to MIDI. Oops, there we go. And then we're going to add, what we're going to do is get rid of some of those things, right? It's just so repetitive, it's driving me nuts, right? So you can use a probability sequencer, right? And I'm going to set the probability to about 58%. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run piano motifs. And we're just going to run channel 2. And then we're going to switch this from piano motifs to Waymaker. Now you're only going to get like a little over half the notes. So it'll sound a little more spare and interesting. So then the next thing you do is you come over here, and if you hit record, everything starts automatically. Now we're trying to find so I'm going to let this go through twice. Now we'll switch, hit it. Now we're going to go back to the other one. Switch the bass. Ed Zielinski. Now, see, I'm letting this go through 4 times, but I'm doing it with this ah thing. Now we turn that back off. Now I went back to the previous piano. We're going to let that go through twice. Turn that off. Let's throw in some kind of little thing. First piano. Now we close this off. Now we'll switch to the other piano. sub bass. Just a little short there. Little fast drum. Back to the regular. Let's see how long we can leave that going. We're at 3 minutes and 32 seconds, so we probably almost ready to stop. I just changed this live motion, hear that? Sweet. And now you come back over here. Stop recording. It stopped. It stops on a bar, by the way. Isn't that awesome? So now, like, you can, so what I usually do here, and as you notice, I did not record that soundbox stuff. I was just using it as a way to get my vibe going when I created this. So what if you just, what I generally do right after that is, we'll just use this Project 22 again because I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill what's in it. I don't want it. No offense to anyone. All right. Let's just delete everything. Delete. Delete. Boop. Delete. Now we want to change this. Instead of 120, we were at, let's actually just use this. We were at 82, remember? 82, but we're still in A minor. So we can probably get rid of, maybe we can get rid of those, but we might not have to. So here's how you drag and drop things into Logic. We are going to tap the 3 dots on top and now go slide over. And now we choose, oh, look at that. Our drums our file system is right over here. So do you want to know where to find what I just recorded in AUM? It's in Audio Share, you guys, because Audio Share and AUM work together. Right here in AUM Recordings, Untitled, that's the most recent thing. And wow, just drop that. And it should be perfect. And then I just sweep that back, right? Now you can see it. Look at that. So now you see we have 97 bars of stuff. But here's where the magic comes in. When I do this, it is stem splitter. So I stem split everything. If I'm to be offended, please send a memo in advance. What? Have a good one, cubes. Right? So all you do is like that way you can actually, you can cut up your beat. You can change stuff. You can add stuff in the center. You just have it. And then you can start popping in stuff. You could actually use some of their, like you say you wanted some kind of opening, that you wanted something to come in, like a sound to open. We'll be able to do that. We just have to wait for the stem split to happen, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so I'm just gonna create this and I'm gonna do something with it overnight. And then, Yeah, you can, it does not have multi-channel, which is too bad. Like, that's one of the reasons why working with dialect, which is, I did a show on that recently. And dialect does do multi-outputs and single stems. But this is just my vibe way of going. You could literally, yes, you can just play each channel on its own. You could go through and record only drums, or you could go in and record each separate channel one at a time. And then you can layer it on, and that could be really fun, I think it would be insanely fun. But now, see, look, you've got drums, guitar. There's no guitar, but there's piano and there's other. So I actually just come in here and just completely remove any empty channels. Whoops, I bet let's cancel, because I bet you they're all, yeah, let's make sure that that's the only one that's, yeah, there we go. Delete track and regions. Boom. See? So now you've got all of this, and each one is separate. So let's just like solo that for a second so you can hear it. Then you could put effects on each thing, right? You could like put humanoid on those vocals. So let's come back in and let's just play with loops. Let's try to find like a riser or some other kind of effect. Here we go. Riser. That one is so basic, but what? Alarm. Ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, angelic rise pad. Wow. Angelic riser. Synth riser. I want something that starts arcade. Let's see what happens when we add one. Yeah, let's use that one. The Arcade Dreams Sweep. So now we just literally just drop it in. At the beginning, I'm going to make that a little bigger. Let's get rid of that. So oops, notice I didn't move it all the way to the edge. Let's move it to the edge. There we go. Now watch. Here we go. So you definitely want something to come in here so you would want something to come in right here where the sweep ends, or right before the sweep ends, so you could get something going. But let's just put something in this instrument, right? I could actually, let's find a better instrument. I'm just gonna try playing over it, because this is how you start making a thing, right? And then we're out of here, because it's gonna be Jade's turn. So literally, I'm just gonna leave it on piano, right? We're just gonna why not record? Let's scale. activate A minor scale. So I've got it in a key. See? Now look at that. And now I could go in there and I could start messing with it. See? Here we go. Or I could even move that. I could move it back to, say, 5. And then let's just listen to that one more time and then we're out of here. You don't even have to look. I'm going to go to my face, my goodbye face. We'll quietly listen to this on the way out of here. Sweet. There it is. Nice. All right, my friends, it's time to go to Jade's. She's going to do Pop Drummer by Lumbeat for iOS and Mac. And I'll be back tomorrow with lyrics. We're going to try to write lyrics to this. And then the rest of the week is all as it usually is. Big love, everybody. And all the peace that you can carry, baby.